is the North End. This is the North End.
Hello and welcome back, North Enders. These are the 5 things that we learned about Tottenham during our absolute battering of Newcastle 5-1 at the weekend, and in our 3rd Premier League victory in a row. I'm joined here, of course, once again, and for the 2nd week running, by the ATEC Daniel Levy himself, Mr. Brian Daigle. Brian, just before we get into the show, I want to ask, how are you, man?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good. Getting better. But yeah, the result on Sunday made me very, very happy, and yesterday's result made me extremely happy. Well done to Palace, absolutely battering the filth. So yeah, it was a good weekend for football.
Yeah, brilliant weekend for football if you're a Tottenham fan, like the two of us. And so, speaking of Tottenham, we have 5 points to talk about. So let's just get straight into it, and we'll start the first one off with an absolute bang, and with an absolute bang of a player, Christian Romero, possibly our best defender since the likes of Jan and Toby. That's probably a bold statement. Even some of you maybe watching, maybe thinking that's a bold statement, but I think it's true, because in just under 5 minutes in that game, this is just an example. He was already banging into players and just is not giving anyone any breathing room, and he was just being an absolute rock in defense like he usually is. You know what? He has been like a rock in defense, albeit one that collects a bit too many yellow cards. But I mean, so far, I think it's fair to say that's the only problem I've seen with him. Just that he's rough, and that's what you need in defense. But he can be a bit too rough. But he's a hard man, a rarity in football nowadays, unfortunately. He's a great partner for Eric Dyer. He can link up even well with Doherty, and surprisingly, and this is something I never expected him to do, he is fantastic when going forward. Those times when he does decide to go forward, and he's even like bagged a goal, I think, already this season from doing that. But Brian, I want to get your opinion on him and his performance at the weekend.
Outstanding, phenomenal, magnificent, excellent, whatever word you want to give it. He is absolutely unbelievable. He is a defender that I didn't know a lot about when we first signed him, but my God, do I know a lot about him now. He is getting legendary cult hero status very, very quickly. He's just outstanding. He honestly is. We have a real player on our hand here. Just his tackle on Joe Willock alone, which was outstandingly brilliant. His calmness on the ball, his anticipation, his aggression. He is a huge part of the jigsaw we need to get back to where we were, or to even aim higher. He just makes what other defenders make look so complicated, he makes look so easy. His anticipation, once he wins the ball, he has so much space. It's like Moses split the Red Sea. He's just outstanding, and people don't realise the amount of work he does to help the right wing back out as well. He really does. He is just a breath of fresh air, a superb defender, and to think he's only 23, this guy is going to be right up there with the best defenders in the world, without a doubt. He is incredible.
Yeah, I mean, if you ask me, he's already like top 3 or even top 5 defenders in the Premier League already, and he hasn't been here a year. That's another thing we have to remember. He's young and he hasn't been here a year, so God knows how good he'll be in like just maybe even a year or even 6 months' time. And you know what? That man of the match performance really did sum up everything we like about Christian Romero. But actually, correct. Speaking of our defence, I want to touch on something that has been absolutely crucial to Conte's system and has been for quite a while now. That's the wing-backs. And we were actually discussing this the other day, Brian, and you mentioned this, and it's a very good point. Our wing-backs are working fantastically in this system. And those 2 positions, right wing-back, left wing-back, are essential to the system working. If they are not working properly, or the players that Conte puts in those positions don't play to the best of their abilities, then that system is jeopardized. And you can call it a weakness, but you know that's not the point I want to make here. The point I want to make here, plain and simple, is that the likes of Reguilon, Kulusevski, and even Matt Doherty, if you want to include him in that, are so good at the minute. And of course, you know, Matt Doherty, I didn't expect him to be as good as he's been, but we'll touch on that later. Brian, what do you think Conte has done actually no, what's your opinion, first of all, on how well our wing-backs are doing? Did you expect them to perform this well?
See, this question. So when we talk about the wing-backs, obviously they're still not the desired wing-backs we want. We think we can get better, and hopefully we do get better. But what this point is they are finally understanding what Conte demands of them. Matt Doherty, I want to touch on, who played at left back against Newcastle. I was worried about that. Not if he had been at right back, but every time he's played left back, it's been a car crash. It's been an absolute nightmare. And I think you fully understood it when you saw Matt Doherty's goal. Now, first of all, that pass from Kane is terrific, and I think he was aiming for Doherty, not Son. You can see Doherty bust a gut to get there, and that's what Conte demands. We know Liverpool go forward, Trent and Robertson, but they're not getting into the box. They stay wide and go deep to get the crosses in. Conte, fullbacks are pivotal to him, absolutely vital. When we've seen it with the goal against Leeds, with Sessegnon to Doherty to score the first. You saw it with Doherty getting a goal for Emerson, and you saw Doherty get his goal. It's not what I've been saying is not the players that it's not the players that play it. They are understanding what that role needs. Yes, there's a lot better we can get, but that role is so demanding and so pivotal to everything Conte does, and it's started to show. It's started to show, right, I know what I've got to do. I need to be here. I need to be there. I need to bust the gut to get forward. I need to bust the gut to get back. Emerson left some holes in the back, but he got his goal. But I was so impressed with Matt Doherty. So impressed with Matt Doherty. And there's a player that deserves a bit of good luck. It's him. And it's vital for everything Tottenham do that you would get the understanding of that role. And boy, did they show that.
Yeah, especially like just how well they all linked up with each other as well. And you know what? I was never in any doubt that Conte could fix this team and make them play a good, like, to the best of their abilities. But in all honesty, I could not have expected them to play it this well. And you know what? I'll have zero complaints about it. But you know what? Speaking of Matt Doherty, I wanted to say a few points to him because actually he is one of the things we learned about it. And one thing that I might have learned about him was that he has started to play consistently well, and he has just improved so much. And considering how much hate he's been getting off so many sections of the fan base the last 2 years, okay, you could argue it's justified, but you know, all the thing about haters, that so much of it is just cruel and unjustified. But he got his head down, and when Conte came in, he probably saw an opportunity. He's like, right, this is a man who can make, like, I don't know, or even like the worst player in the world play, you know, half decent. I mean, like, just look what Conte's after doing with the likes of Wings and Davis. So he got his head stuck down and started working hard, and you know what? It's paid off. I think Matt Doherty is probably one of the last players that, you know, the Conte effect, as I call it, has worked on, but it's worked on him now, and he is just producing some excellent performances lately. And one of the best things about it isn't the performances themselves; it's the fact that they're consistent. They're consistently good, and you know, some of them are even like you know, he's been our best defender, like, apart from Romero in some of those games. So I think that's a huge step up for Matt Doherty. And you know what? I said it on our Tottenham Tour socials and community page on YouTube. His redemption story is probably one of the best in world football. I mean, you can argue that's an exaggeration, but as far as I'm concerned, it's a brilliant story of redemption, and I hope it, you know what, long may it continue. So
to add to that, Adam, I mean, obviously, when you talk about redemption, and it's probably very, very big for you as well, seeing that obviously you're Irish and there's that connection as well. You got to look at it. We had this with Sissoko. Sissoko took a while to get in, and then had a couple of great seasons. Listen, Matt Doherty came in for a lot of criticism, and you said some sections. It was more than some sections. It was a very large majority, and I will put myself in that. I gave him, but I'm also one of those people that if I dish it out in a negative way, I have to stand up as a man and say, do you know what? You deserve the credit. You took the criticism. I'm now going to give you the credit. And he does deserve credit. And he's come out and said a few things recently about time under Mourinho and now how he's loving life under Conte. And this is what this man does. It just goes to show, you know what? You look at it, and God, if we'd had Conte from the summer when we should have got him the first time, and this could have all been God knows where we'd be. But yeah, you've got to give Matt Doherty a lot of credit, and he deserves it right now.
Absolutely. And you know, three other players in our team, and this is the fourth point, that deserve a huge bucket load of credit. They are Kane, Son, and Kulusevski. I'm telling you, that trio is the best trio of players we've had since the Poch era, when Kane, Son, and Eriksen were doing the business. And you know what? This trio could go places, especially if we get top four. Like, this is the type of attack that you would expect to see playing Champions League football. And let's be honest, we as Tottenham fans anyway, all want to see them playing Champions League football and just rip those teams apart. And I know Newcastle, defensively are far from the best team in the Premier League or even in England, but the way the three of them just opened up Newcastle's defence, with help, of course, from the other players who were driving forward, was just immense, and it was close to perfect last weekend. Like, I hadn't seen it so good in a long time, and you could argue that's mainly down to Newcastle being shite, but I think at the same time that we still had to put the goals in the back of the net. We still had to produce the plays that led to those goals. So all in all, I think it was a fantastic performance from all three of them, and not just in that game. Since Kulusevski has come in, the three of them, almost like that, in a heartbeat, have clicked well together and have formed an excellent trio. Brian, do you agree with me on that, or do you think that maybe I should hold off a bit and calling it the best trio since Eriksen was here?
No, I think you're underplaying how good these front three are. We had over here in Canada on our coverage, we had Alan Shearer and Les Ferdinand in the studio for half time and analysis and everything. And even Alan Shearer was saying these three are frightening. These three are frightening. When you see what Kane is doing now, Kane is now assisting the assister. As I've been saying, he has been. It's not just the assist. He is like the Sun goal, where Kane to Kulusevski, Son, bang. These three are frightening. These three are very, very frightening. Kulusevski has hit the ball running. He's hitting numbers that Jack Grealish would only wish for, and he's only done it in like 11 games. This guy has been an inspired addition to the squad. He is so strong, and he is so clever. It added such a potent force to the deadly duo. They're now a triple threat without a doubt, and defenders up and down the country and hopefully Europe must be terrified of thinking, "Oh my God, I've got to face." Excuse me, I've got to face these three. Kulusevski, you look at Kulusevski, and I've been saying this. Brian Hill is 21 and was brought in. Kulusevski is 21 and was brought in, and it is night and day.
Exactly.
Kulusevski was built for the Premier League. His physique, his power, these three up front are incredible. And it just got to highlight, and as I said, with Kane dropping deeper and assisting the assister, the effect he's having on games isn't just right, he's got to assist or he's got to score. His range of passing and everything he's doing is allowing him to drop deep, because now he's got Kulusevski to help him with Son. And Son is coming back to his best. His first touch is getting better again. These three are deadly. I mean, people talk about, and I'm not comparing them just yet, Salah, Mane, Firmino. Well, next season, they've got to run for their money. They obviously you can add Jota and Diaz to them, but those three up front, I wouldn't want to face them on a any given Sunday or Saturday, whatever, any given match day. They would terrify me. The movement and understanding, and you got to remember they built this relationship up since January.
Mm-hmm.
This is like 4 months into their relationship. Imagine when they finish the season and have a whole pre-season together. It's frightening. It's frightening, that front three.
It's promising is what it is, and it's giving everyone loads of confidence that we can actually do this top four, even towards the end of this season. But next season, if Conte and Kane and all them stay, which, if we get top four this season, I don't see a reason why they can't. And also, one more thing I've noticed about Kulusevski is that he's providing so many assists from that right wing because of that absolute deadly left foot of his, or even, like you said, the passing range is just on point from him, Kane, Son, all of them as well. But unfortunately, that does bring us on to our final point. And, every point me and Brian have talked about has been so positive, because, 5-1 results, like, there's not any negatives you can have in that. But unfortunately, there is one negative thing that did stand out to me, at least, and that was, of course, and, if you think this isn't a big deal, you're right, because at the end of the day, we won, and we would have won regardless of this, but we could have gotten a clean sheet if it had not been for this problem that, let's be honest, has has held us back and just plagued the team for a while now, and consistently plagued us as well, which worries me. It's our defending, or be it our lack of good defense set pieces. And Newcastle, if we remember, took the lead in that game, and they took the lead from a set piece that was taken outside the box, no less. I mean, we had most, if not all, of the team defending that, and yet for some reason the ball still went through the wall and went through Lloris, who also, in my opinion, should have done better. I should have gotten to that ball as well. I should have saved it. Brian, what you make of this defending and even scoring from set piece problem that we just can't seem to get right?
Well, when it comes to, you said at the beginning, it may not be a big deal because we won 5-1. It's a huge deal. This is a huge deal. Yes, we scored 5 goals, but the amount of games we've dropped points or not even picked up any points at all because of this absolutely inexcusable way that we defend set pieces, it's got to be addressed. Now, I'm solely putting this on Hugo. Solely. It's not even the wall, whatever. This is, and these mistakes are becoming again more frequent. It's a big problem. It's a big problem, and as much as we need to, it's something that needs to be addressed. I mean, hopefully, Conte with a full pre-season will be able to say, right, we're working on this, and and you've got 6 weeks where, yes, you played your pre-season friendly, but you've got 6 weeks where you train goddamn hard, double sessions, maybe in treble sessions, all day, whatever. There's got to be, whether it's I don't know how coaches do it, whether they say, right, for an afternoon or for a day or an hour a day or whatever, we are going to work on set pieces, because it has to be done. It has to be done. Hopefully, one thing I've loved about Hugo with set piece, apart from free kicks and everything, is he's coming out more for crosses. He used to stay on his line a lot. He's coming out and assisting the defence there, but his positioning has been questionable. I don't know where this new thing has come from, where instead of catching the ball, he just punches it every single time. There's so many occasions where he could catch it, but he's been a great servant. But this is something that needs to be addressed. It's the Achilles heel in our game at the moment, conceding from set pieces, and as well, obviously not scoring from them. All right, but the first one came after Ben Davies's goal came from a corner, or not from a corner, but it was a corner that got put out and then put back into. So the second ball, we're kind of doing better in. The actual delivery of a corner or something has not been the greatest, and this is why I've been screaming for not over a year, James Ward-Prowse. James Ward-Prowse. Then it's done. You ain't got to worry about set piece or in the attacking side. And defensive, this needs to be corrected. Listen, you got Dyer, who's been doing fantastic in organisational and communication and everything. And I don't know if it's because of zonal. I don't know if it's because of man-to-man. Or I don't know if it's actually got into their heads like bogey teams. Oh, it's a set piece. Here we go. We've got to make sure. It's just something that has to be worked on. It's the Achilles heel. It's standing out like a sore thumb. And hopefully we'll address it. Listen, we can only work on it now, but we can't really have an infinite amount of time to say, right, we're going to work all week on set pieces, because then you're neglecting everything else. This is something that will be corrected, I believe, in the summer trial, in pre-season training.
Yeah, and you know what? I think Conte will need a full pre-season to sort this issue out, and hopefully he can. And also, I think if we bring in
a full pre-season with his players that he wants signed before they go back to pre-season.
Joe, Brian, you took the words right out of my mouth. I was just about to say that. That too true. Like, he needs some players, and he needs to be back to course. But like, we could have that conversation all over again till. And so I think, that brings us to the end of the show. If you like what me and Brian have talked about today, all you to support the channel is like and subscribe. It's not that hard; it takes less than 30 seconds. And also to check out our sister channel as well if you haven't already. Tottenham on Tour. We're currently having a big push to 5k subscribers over there. So if you can, but also most importantly, help get this channel to more subscribers as well, because a lot of effort goes into these shows. And we have a great team over here at the North End, so please, and also share the video with anyone who you think may be interested. So I'm gonna sign off by saying it was a great result, and hopefully more of these will come. And like Conte said, every game is like a cup final. And Brian Daigle, do you have anything you want to say to close off?
Yeah, just I have to sign off with I don't care what channel I'm on or what teams get supported. Just do my finger exercises. And as always, Levy out.
See you later.
This is the North